I am from Formula.
Welcome to Formula Friday, your weekly Formula One show, F1 show, whatever words and combinations of thereof you want to use. I'm Nick. That's Lewis. Godzilla is coming back to Japan. Max is racing with another person, and we witnessed history this last Sunday. But before we dip in to all things F1 for this week, Lewis, how was your week?
My week has been up and down, I should say. I'll get into the bad news first. My truck, my lovely truck that I've had for 7 years, is on its last legs, and spoiler alert, much like McLaren, just won't start. And
That's your problem. Your truck had legs that's supposed to have tires.
dang. It did start for a little bit, and it was shaking really bad, and no nerve damage in the hands, thank God.
Say, what is it, an Aston?
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe if it was an Aston, I still wouldn't be able to work on it. But yeah, it's been full of ups and downs, and just been a fun week. I've been listening to a lot of Paramore lately.
Oh, nice, classic.
Yes, I, and me and you are both music nerds through and through. Is Haley Williams like one of the best rock female vocalists we've had in our generation?
A billion percent. She is. I mean, not even just like rock, like whatever genre she's singing, she's just incredible. I love all of her music.
And like I like listen to albums fully through. I love that. Like that is, it tells a story. It's amazing. Skrillex put out an album this year or last year. That was literally every song was like a minute and a half, but it transitioned into it. So each song was a banger, but it was like a set list. It was great. I've been doing that with Paramore, and then I just go to their top tracks and on Tidal, and I listen to all of them. I'm telling you, it's just banger after banger. Like Still Into You, Ain't It Fun, Misery Business, Only Exception, Hard Times, Decode. It's just banger. And it's been so good. And yeah, that's been the ups and downs for me. The truck has been the down for sure, because that has been my baby. And I hope nothing bad. Hopefully I can get it fixed. But I've always said, if that truck ever dies on me, I'm taking the engine out and making a coffee table out of it so it can live with me still. I love that thing to death. But yeah, that's been my week. What about you?
Also full of ups and downs. My truck, last Monday, not like a few days ago Monday, but last Monday, my Paige and I, my fiance, we were playing disc golf at one of the parks around here, and I had let my truck idle for about 15 minutes. I was just doing something on my phone before I took off, because I don't mess with my phone when I drive. Crazy concept, I know.
I know.
I get to the first stop sign, which is right outside of the park we were at, and it just dies on me. My dash lights up. First, I noticed the lack of power steering. I'm like, that's not normal. And then I realized the truck was dead, but like the radio and everything was still going. It just died. Put it back in park, started it. It started up really hard, and at the time I thought it was my transmission, because it was shifting really hard, like scary hard. Like I was afraid it was going to break something hard. And looking back on it, it put itself in limp mode. But I was terrified. Called up a transmission place. They couldn't see it until yesterday. So I've been borrowing my fiance's car all week for work. She's awesome. Took it to the transmission place yesterday. They diagnosed it as my transmission is fine, but it was a crank positioning sensor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which obviously explains the issues I was having. But since they're transmission places, they couldn't fix it, so I had to go to another shop, which is fine. My usual shop is right next to my work. It's really convenient, actually. It's great. So I took it to that shop. I'm like, hey, do the crank positioning sensor, and then also replace the cam sensors too, because I drive a 2014 Nissan Frontier, then usually if the crank goes out, the cams aren't too far behind. So I just said, screw it. If you can get OEM, please get OEM. Replace this. I don't want to have to worry about it, because it's got 150,000 miles on it, and that's usually around the time that these sensors go wrong in these trucks. Thank you, Nissan. I had the line set for how much this was going to cost at around $300, and I grossly underestimated all of that. I had to dip into the savings account that I've been, using for the wedding that's coming up. but like I needed the truck, so that's been great. Otherwise, that's kind of been it. I got my emulator working again on my I almost said Switch, on my Steam Deck. So it's been really fun to play GameCube games from the comfort of my couch, just handheld.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Mario Golf and Tiger Woods PGA 2005. Kind of along those lines, I've been playing disc golf. I need to rework my disc golf form, I've realized, because I've been playing it for a few years now. So I went back and I watched the first form video that I ever watched when I was first interested in disc golf. And I did that thing where I know what I'm doing now a little bit. So that form video makes a lot more sense of what I need to be doing, what I'm not doing. So this summer when I play disc golf, it's going to be all about reworking my form because I've gotten into some bad habits. So I just need to like get back to the basics, and it'll, be nice to actually throw. And then let's see. Person is offering me a set of a driver and a few irons so I can actually start building my actual ball golf collection. I need to find a putter, but I can thrift that. I'm excited for that because one of the biggest barriers of entry for golf to me is the cost of it all. I can't afford to get clubs. But if I'm going to be given a driver and some irons, I mean, that's most of it right there. At that point, all I need to do is just kind of get out there. So I'm stoked for that.
I'm happy for you, and you got lucky with the truck situation. I
have no idea. I was terrified it was a transmission issue because I could not replace that.
Yeah, my truck, I have replaced fuel module, which that's fine. Replaced a battery. Now it might be spark plugs. I did the math. I've spent so much time on it. Luckily, I have a very good friend. Both of us have a really good friend. It's a common friend that has let me borrow his spare vehicle. He's a great guy, so big shout out to him. And you got really lucky because I had something similar happen to my wife's old vehicle. We were driving and it started knocking really bad. And and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna limp it home. We weren't that far from home. Going down a hill, I'm like, it's really hard to steer. I'm like, oh, I have no power. And turns out it's an old Chevy. They have a 4L60E transmission. Transmission slipped, spun a bearing, seized up the engine. Yeah, long story short, we got rid of the Chevy. Now we have a Hyundai. So
I don't know if that's much better.
That car has been so good. My hatred for GM, so it's it's been really
I get
good.
your hatred for GM. I don't know if Hyundai was the right direction to go if you wanted a car whose engine wouldn't just explode.
Luckily we got a bumper to bumper warranty and I made sure we got everything covered with it. No down payment, nothing. It is perfect, pristine. Insurance is good. We are covered for that. And then also going off the same thing you said about how you have to borrow your fiance's car. Big shout out to my wife getting up and getting the kids up at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive me to work. And then she works a half hour away, takes her lunch break when I get off work, comes, picks me up, brings me home, and then drives a half hour back to work. So big shout out. The women in our life are amazing.
We don't deserve them. We really don't.
We really don't.
Incredible.
Yes.
Well,
poorly transitioned.
You and I have a transition.
Oh, okay.
You and I would have fit well into the Chinese Grand Prix on Sunday because of all of our cars breaking down.
Ooh, yeah, good transition. Proud of you.
In fact, some cars broke down before the race even started. Most notably, both McLarens, Gabriel Bortoletto's Audi, and Alex Albon's Williams. Both the Audi and the Williams had hydraulic issues, and both McLarens had electronics issues that they didn't bother, by the way. McLaren didn't bother to tell the drivers about until it didn't matter anymore. Both Oscar and Lando qualified, and then right before the race, the team was like, yeah, no, can't do it. You're not racing.
Yeah, from what I heard, it was engine related, like weirdly, like with them, and it's weird how the Mercedes engine is bad for them.
Yep. It sure seems like the factory teams aren't doing as well as the factory teams are doing better than the what's the term?
I know what you're talking about.
Customer teams?
Yeah, that sounds right. But I wonder if Mercedes looked at it last year and goes, "We're not letting this happen again."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because Alex Lando and Oscar are all driving the Mercedes, and then Gabby's in the Audi engine, which that's the Audi engine. Who knows what's going on there?
Yeah, let's say
A lot of
Alpine's in.
German engines.
Yeah, Alpine's in the Mercedes engine, and spoiler, but
Yeah, not bad at all. So that's just to start the race, right? Both McLarens were out.
start or not start the race, I guess.
Williams were out, whatever. McLaren didn't even get a shot. Aston Martin update really quick. They're bad. Remember, Lewis, at the beginning of the season, there was the rumors that Lance and Alonso were worried about the potential of nerve damage from the vibrations of the car.
Yes.
And it was one of those things where it's like, that's a really funny thing to hear. Haha, like, no way. No, they actually retired the car due to vibrations for fear of nerve damage.
Yes. Did you see the videos of Fernando driving down the long straight?
I didn't. Okay, so I'll say Fernando retired from the vibration. Lance retired around lap 9 to a battery issue, but Fernando was able to make it to lap 32 before he couldn't do it anymore.
So during the straight, it looked like I don't want to put. How do I put this? You've been around Iowa. People in their trucks drive with their knees sometimes. Hand out the window, just That's what he was having to do down the straight, and he was going like this with his hands and like going like this down the straight on the Formula One car.
That's insane.
Yeah, how bad is the car? Like we see that, like if in a truck, it's like all right, cool, like not really cool, but it's just the backwoods hillbilly way of doing stuff.
Well, it's not hillbilly because we're in the Midwest.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it, but but like seeing a Formula One driver do it during the race is insane.
Yeah, you don't see that in a car worth millions of dollars ever.
Yeah. Like taking both hands off the wheels, shaking your hands because it hurts so bad to hold on to it.
I think for me, like we hear about the stories of like, oh, mirrors are falling off, taillights are falling off, but actually seeing it is different than hearing those stories. That car, that Aston, dude, that's on another plane of terrible.
I've
never seen the 2021 Haas could beat that Aston.
Yeah. And you know how we always say Max could finish a race in any car? I don't think he could do it in this. Like, it's that bad.
Way in hell. No shot.
Yeah. You might as well put them on like a little Tykes car. The one where they push with their feet at this point.
And Max knows something about bad cars because he's driving one this year.
Good transition.
Yes. Max Verstappen also retired from the race around lap 45 due to a coolant issue. I think it's the same issue that Isaac had in Australia, and it just kind of passed its way. It made its way to Max's car. When was the last time we saw Max DNF from a race?
You know what? I have the stats up. So
it had to have been since
2025.
21, right?
25, he DNF'd one time. In 2024, he DNF'd one time.
Okay.
So in 2023, 0 times. In his total career, he's had 33 retirements.
Wow, that is apt.
Yeah.
Remember when his number was 33?
Oh, back in my day.
I don't think of Max. I guess that makes sense. He's averaged a retirement a year for the last, for the last 5 years, whatever. I don't think about Max as having having a car worthy of retiring, though. Max usually finds a way. His car, whatever it is. So it's weird to see that Red Bull is struggling like this. It's really weird to see that with Isaac last week and then Max this last weekend.
Yeah, maybe it's weird for us because Adrian Newey's not there, and like Adrian Newey usually builds a pretty good car, and I'm just saying usually, not he always does, but usually does. So I don't know.
I will say the real winners from this race, I would consider Cadillac. Like I say, real winners. I used to do some online league racing with FM4, RFM4. It sounds like they only did racing in Forza Motorsport 4, but that's just the subreddit that they kind of took over. They race in the current Forzas. You should check them out. They race every Tuesday. They're great. There was a couple guys, because it's a beer league, right? There's some guys who are at the very top, like they race in Tora and do all this other stuff. Then there's guys at the bottom. It doesn't matter your skill level. They just like to have you. There was this guy in there who used to say winning through attrition. And that's essentially, I survived the race because we would race, no assists, damage, whatever. Cadillac survived.
Yes.
I mean, with all those DNFs and DNSs, Sergio finished 15th and Valtteri finished 13th, which is, it doesn't seem impressive on paper, but the fact that they were able to finish in this regulation where apparently cars don't finish, and they didn't finish the previous race, I want to say last weekend, they didn't finish in Australia. That's big.
Yeah. It's yeah, the winning through attrition is a big thing. Like I do endurance racing. I love it. Like I got one in 2 weeks. It's a 12-hour at Sebring. Like that is like one of my peak like things is winning through attrition. Like you said, sorry, I about said nutrition, like be healthy.
Give me the granola bars.
Yeah, it's been a week. But yeah, like that is a huge thing for those races, and honestly, it started to become that for like the mid tier. It's just finish,
just survive. It's like the end of Halo Reach. Survive.
Drive. You know what they should call it? Drive to survive.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
I'm a trademark. No one can take it.
Another storyline from this last race is Alpine. Lewis, is it too early for me to say that I was wrong about Alpine?
Maybe.
They both finished in the points.
Yep.
Alpine, the same team from last year that was struggling to get past last.
Yeah, getting past each other, honestly. Remember? Yeah. It's
unless
insane.
when Colapinto got really pissed off at Coda and decided to ignore team orders. Alpine, I mean, I didn't want to believe that the engine makes a difference with Alpine, and maybe it doesn't. I'm sure part of the reason Alpine did bad last year was because they were focusing on this reg. Ferrari did the same thing. I think McLaren should have focused more on this reg, but they were trying to win a championship, so I get it. It kind of balances itself out that way. But Alpine really seems like they hit the drawing board last season, and to me anyway, it seems like we're seeing the fruit of that labor. We're going to have a bad 2025. Who cares? 2026 is what counts. And if they can consistently get at least one driver in the top 10, they're going to be top of the midfield pretty quick.
Yeah, and don't forget, like part of the reason they could be good is because they finished so low last year, so they get more CFD time. And I mean, not to like rain on their parade, but we did have 2 McLaren's DNS, so that would knock Colapinto out of the points and knock Pierre down to 8th or whatever, and then Max DNF, so that would bring him down to 9th or whatever. But and Albon didn't start, so potentially, like if everyone started with like normal type of race, we'd have only 1 in the points. But still, 1 point is still a big step up for them.
Absolutely, especially compared to last year. Compared to last year.
Remember when I was giving them like the tax when we were doing the
Alpine tax? Yeah.
Yes, when we're grading them, I was like Alpine tax, like they're just awful. They haven't done anything. Mm-hmm. Well, they did do stuff, and I will eat my words on this, and I'm so happy to see Pierre be doing good. I love me Pierre doing good.
I love that for you too. I'm sure you're stoked. I know you're always going to be a Pierre guy because at your heart you're a V-Carb fan, even though you're an Aston fan and jumped on a sinking ship.
Yeah, I really did. Like, I can't believe that. It's like I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna embrace this. I'm gonna embrace a new team and everything, and it's. I don't think it could be any worse. Like, they can't race. I like a racing team that can't race. What's going on?
You should have given it a season, I think.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like becoming an NFL fan rooting for the Iowa Barnstormers or something like this is awful.
Wow, I've thought about the Barnstormers in forever. Arena football. So, I think another big point in this race that needs to be discussed is Lewis Hamilton finally getting a podium in Ferrari. A podium that matters, not a sprint, in an actual race where things were on the line. Lewis Hamilton finished 3rd in the Ferrari, ending his drought, which feels weird to say, but for Lewis, it was a podium drought.
Yes.
Because his last podium was Vegas in 24.
Sounds right.
So we finally get Lewis in the Ferrari red back up to where he belongs. Is this a good sign for things to come for Lewis this season.
I honestly think so. Those Ferraris look good, and they were fighting, and it's so good to have the good battle between teams again. Like Mercedes seems to be battling each other, like Ferrari seems to be battling each other. So like a question genuinely for you too. Did all the teams see what McLaren did last year and didn't have a number one driver? And are more people going to copy it?
I think more teams are seeing that McLaren found a way to make it work. There's some dynamics where that's just not going to happen. George is going to be the number one over Kimi. That's just what it is right now. Charles and Lewis, I think, is closer to comparison to what McLaren is, because Charles has been there forever. He's been ingrained, but Lewis is Lewis Hamilton, right?
Yes.
So I could see Ferrari trying to adapt, but at the same time, Vasseur, that doesn't really seem like his style.
Yeah, he
seems like he has a favorite, and then he just picks the favorite.
See,
I don't know him. This is all just vibes on my end. I don't know.
I feel like he's very how to put this? Ferrari-esque. Like he just lets him go. Like whatever happens. He reminds me, honestly, remember Ford versus Ferrari? Enzo Ferrari in the top, looking down at the Ford garage. That's what he reminds me of, is that Enzo Ferrari character. Like not actual Enzo Ferrari, but the guy who played
the character. Yeah.
Yes, that's what he reminds me of. Just go out there and win. Just do it.
Another key difference, though, like Ferrari does seem like that they are employing a similar thing to papaya rules, but there is a different dynamic there, whether it's Charles and Lewis having a better relationship or what. But when they were fighting, you heard Charles on the radio say, "This is really good racing. I'm having a lot of fun here," while he was battling Lewis, and they were close battles. It was,
yes.
Like, watching their onboards was scary for how close they were and how skilled they were. Just to be able to race like that, how they were off of turn 2, 3, 4 in China, that big, and they were having a fun time. I guess I don't know about Lewis, but Charles was having a ball.
Yeah,
this is great. I love this. I'm not mad at Lewis for what he's doing. This is awesome.
Well, especially if you think about it from Charles' perspective. Last time he was fighting a teammate like this was Vettel.
Yeah,
yeah, and remember him and Vettel.
Carlos weren't really fighting like that.
No, and him and Vettel actually like touched and got into each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like they actually like fought. It was, and Charles has gotten older and wiser, and Lewis is older and wiser. But like, it is very, very refreshing to see Ferrari not struggle anymore.
It really is. Charles is such an underrated driver too, which feels weird to say because I feel like people do rate him, but the skill that Charles can just show off, I think he's handicapped by Ferrari, but he's not going to go anywhere. It's just Charles is genuinely such a good driver, and it's easy to forget until you see him racing wheel to wheel this close with Lewis on such a technical track.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just like any team. It's Sir Lewis Hamilton, like the guy who you said this on like the pre-show meeting. He has the most wins,
105 wins.
Yes,
I always forget. I always forget that Lewis has the most wins in F1 history,
and tied for the most championships. Like he's not just some pub driver. Like this guy is statistically one of the best drivers of all time. Mm-hmm. And Charles is fighting him. Like it's so refreshing to see, and it's so nice. And even just like looking past the top 4, like this was the top 10. Like this is great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very a fan of this.
And I mean, I can't stress enough how much fun that Charles seemed like he was having. And I just want to go back to last season because, like, I know there was a lot of like a lot of Lando versus Oscar type of narrative, and they hate each other. They hate each other. I don't think they hated each other, but they definitely weren't not complaining. Like there was that famous thing from Oscar, radio message, that wasn't very team-like. Like when they would race. And the chemistry or the vibes were just different with Oscar and Lando compared to seemingly Charles and Lewis.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's like mutual respect or whatever, but it just seems like they had that chemistry where, how do I put this? And like, do you remember watching NFL and Tom Brady and Gronkowski? Like they knew what they were just doing. Like they just knew it. Like they didn't have to really call the play. Or like like they just had that chemistry, and that just seems like what these two are doing. Like two chefs in the kitchen, like they don't have to talk; they just know exactly what the person's doing, and it just seems like that. Like they know each other very well, and it's very, very awesome to see. And I'm so excited to see that.
100%. We're bearing the lead. We got to get to this. Kimi Antonelli won his first ever Formula One race. Lewis, famously, this was one of my preseason predictions. It was either going to be him or Isaac winning their first race this season. I'm going to echo Toto in the post-race interviews when I say this happened a lot sooner than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And not only did he win, Kimi was dominant. Lewis, there was only one lap where Kimi wasn't leading, and that was lap 1 when Lewis led. Lewis Hamilton led for a lap, and then it was Kimi from lap 2 to 56.
Yeah, it was amazing to see, and he's so young, like with this, and second youngest driver ever to win.
Yep, also the second teenager to ever win a Formula One race. Fun fact.
Yeah,
first one was Max.
Yeah, which that record number be broken because they upped the age gap since. So, like Kimi, in theory, is the record holder now because like Max is literally untouchable with that.
At 19 and a half years old. And then the gap between Kimi and third is Seb at 21.
Yeah, so like Kimi potentially has this record now for a long time because I'm going to say he has it. Max, yes, has it technically, but it literally cannot be beaten. So, it was awesome to see, and like you forget how young he is, like in the pressure and everything. Because even when he was leading, he locked up going into that like last corner, and it was like, like I had a slight flashback to Russia with Lando.
I hate Sochi 2021. That should have been his first win. I just want to take another moment and keep eating crow and continuing to flagellate myself for being wrong about Kimi Antonelli last year after he had that dip in the middle of the season. This kid is special, and I cannot wait to see the rest of his career play out because there's no doubt in my mind that eventually someday he will end up at Ferrari because come on. Ferrari is going to do whatever they can to get Kimi Antonelli, an Italian driver who's very good to drive for their Italian team. That is going to happen. But before that happens, I'm excited to see how far Kimi can go with Mercedes. And I mean, this kid, he's got it, right? Like, he has got it. Whatever that is, he's just incredible. And it's always special to see a driver win their first race, especially one so young. Like Kimi, even in his post-race interview with Jenson Button, he just started to, or that wasn't Jenson Button, his post-race interview, he started to talk and then he couldn't get it out. He just started to break down and cry. And fair enough, dude. Like, holy crap. You crashed a brand new limited edition car a month ago and now you win.
Yeah. So this weekend I watched the race and I tried to watch it on my TV and I actually used Apple TV. Just doing it. I couldn't get the Sky broadcast on there. I don't know why. But I watched the F1 broadcast. Again, I enjoy it. It's weird. But at the very end, I forget his name. He had a perfect call to this. Like as you know, Kimi was crossing and everything. He goes, Mercedes dropped the ball on Max, and Toto vouched that he would never do this again. He would never let another Max slip by. And they were comparing him to Max and everything. And it was an amazing call and everything. Is this the second coming to Max?
Oh, 100%. And it was always meant to be. Kimi is Toto's Max. He has basically done what Christian Horner did with Max Verstappen. Toto, as much as he hates Christian Horner, has followed that model to a T.
Yeah.
Because if you see talent like that, you have to nurture it however much you can. And Toto saw something in Kimi. And I don't know if I'm alone here where I think that I thought Kimi got called up a bit too early. Maybe he could have cooked for another season. But I think he needed to get thrown into that fire, and he needed to have that kind of, it feels weird to say this about Toto, nurturing a relationship.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Toto obviously deeply cares for his drivers. He's just very German, and it's hard to see that. But that's just him being German. It is cool to see how deeply he cares for all of his drivers, even on the podium. We had that podium of Kimi, George, and Lewis, all Toto proteges, all up there, and they cut to Toto, and he said he had to hold back tears of joy, tears of pride, because of how that shook out. Those were his guys, all three of them, the past, the present, the future, all right there on that podium, right before him. I can't imagine what that must feel like to be in the Toto, I don't know, coaching, not really a coaching tree, but that Toto
Umbrella.
tree, umbrella, the umbrella of Toto.
Mm-hmm.
Like being that kind of mentor and seeing your people up there and knowing that they're there from a combination of your hard work and their hard work.
Yeah.
And it just coming together in a beautiful way. It was very poetic. It was beautiful. It really was.
Yeah. So another quick note: Toto Wolff, not German, Austrian.
See, I was gonna say Austrian, but I wasn't sure, so I said German.
That's fine. Also, so very famously, Max Verstappen went from F3 to F1, skipped F2. Like it's insane. Kimi Antonelli skipped F3. He in 2022 won the ADAC Formula 4 or whatever, which is I don't know, and also won Italian Formula 4. In 2023, raced in Formula Regional Europe and Formula Regional Middle East, won both of those championships. And then 2024, raced in Formula 2. And now we see him in Formula 1. Skipped over F3, and I just... I know a driver to skip a series is insane.
Mm-hmm. It is insane, but I mean, we're kind of seeing it more in other sports too. Even baseball, we're seeing more where players will go from single A to the bigs or double A to the bigs and skipping triple A. Triple A feels more like a rehab league at this point. And I said single. I just meant double A to the majors.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I don't know if it's been a shift in sports medicine, I don't know, where they just realized, hey, we need to take advantage of these guys while they're still young and while they're still showing glimpses, so then we can mold them as soon as we can.
Yes.
So they can really take advantage of their key years. And it's working. Kimi is awesome.
Yeah, Kimi is so good. And like, I don't know. I get it. I might be like preemptive with this and everything, but he is showing every characteristic to be the next Max Verstappen.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a little tingle of Max in there. I don't know if anybody can just be Max though, but I can see him being very, very, very good.
Yes.
I won't completely say he's Max Verstappen, but I can see him being very good.
I can see him win championship. Honestly, I think that's a no-brainer. Like,
I can see him winning multiple.
I could see him winning one before George.
I think he's got a couple 3 in him. Okay, Lewis, now that this race 2 is said and done, how do we feel about these regs after the second race of the season?
So I'm kind of torn on this. So, so I got like multiple hats I'm wearing for this one. As a Formula 1 fan, I'm okay with it. It feels like some of the overtakes are very not earned because of battery power. We saw that in Australia, but it has plenty of room for growth. So I'm okay with it. Like, you know, it being a little slump now, but it'll get better. As a V-Carb fan, hey, we're good. We're good now. Like Liam finished ahead of Arvid, but like, hey, we're pretty good. It's weird. But as an Aston Martin fan, I can't. I would love to watch them race if they ever race, but they haven't raced. So I'm very torn. Overall, though, I would say I'm on the positive side. I am enjoying it.
I'm also really very much enjoying it. And this race specifically, China, just comparing it to China last year and the last few years, I think that this is a good kind of, I'm going to use a fun word here. I think this race could end up being a microcosm of what the season will end up looking like, because this is the first, because Australia is always going to be an exciting race, right? There's always just natural overtaking opportunities in Australia. This is the first race on the calendar where it's always kind of like, a good race. But I mean, yes, Yes, it is. Because granted, I know Kimi didn't move much from first, but second, third, fourth, we were getting lead change or not lead changes, but we were getting position changes everywhere. Looking at the lap by lap, it's just a bunch of different colored squares every lap all the time. And even when the race settled into the lull, same as Australia, it was still exciting. It wasn't as exciting as Australia, but there were still things happening the entire race, and it's a gift of these new regulations. And I get that the whole unearned overtakes, but at the end of the day, an overtake's an overtake, right? Because it does still take skill to deploy it at the right time and harvest it at the right time and use it. That is a skill. So I'm gonna argue that they're not earned overtakes because it's not like you're just pressing a button and like you do still have to be strategic about it. And that extra layer of strategy, I think, is important to have. I said this last week, I'll say it again this week, and I'll say it again next week. The real test of this regulation and viability of this regulation this season is going to be in Japan. Because Suzuka has turned into long Monaco where there should be overtaking, but there just isn't. If we get a crap ton of overtaking and position changes in Suzuka, I'm going to be fully sold on this regulation. Now, it's only going to be for the 2026 season because I'm sure by next season they're going to find a way to make it less fun, they being the teams. But right now, Suzuka is kind of my bar, my barrier to entry for fully subscribing to this 2026 regulation. I have a feeling Suzuka is going to be a really good one. If it's a snooze fest, then I'm going to have to reevaluate. But as of right now, I'm going to cautiously subscribe that I really like this regulation. My God. We've gotten some. By the way, Lewis, Franco Colapinto was in second place for 4 laps.
Yeah, during the pit cycles.
It was because he didn't pit, but he was still up there.
Yeah.
And even the guys on Sky were like, "Did you expect this? Did you expect this?"
Yeah,
What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, even going through the top 10, which we haven't done yet, but I mean, we had the Mercedes, we had Kimi, George, and then the Ferraris of Lewis, Charles, and then Ollie in 5th, like, which is awesome. Pierre in 6th, awesome. Liam in 7th, weird. Isaac in 8th, Carlos in 9th, and Franco in 10th. Like, it's weird to see those guys on the points. Granted, we had DNS and all this, but still, like it's showing there's potential. And as Adrian always said, it's about the potential, not what you have. And I'm okay with the potential. Like it seems to be good.
And I do want to note that we did get a 10-second penalty in this race from Esteban Ocon for causing a collision with Franco Colapinto. That was an unfortunate situation because it was essentially Esteban didn't see Franco and he kind of did a dive bomb, but it wasn't on purpose. And then he even copped up like, yeah, that was my fault. I just didn't see him because it was in a weird blind spot. And he ended up hurting Franco. So even with Franco's hurt car, he was still able to finish in the top 10.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And
anything else from this race that you'd like to go over before we move on to our news?
No, not really. Also, I know Max didn't finish the race, but they had a weird tire strategy. Like, I really wasn't understanding. Like, he started on sauce, but then I don't know. It's I would like to see more racing from Red Bull to understand really what's going on. But I mean, granted, last week we saw some, but yeah.
I don't know if the tire thing is necessarily their fault. Kind of like what I touched on last week. I think this regulation is just very unfriendly towards these tires. And I think the teams and Pirelli themselves are trying to figure them out too. Because the softs were lasting 8 laps. The mediums weren't lasting very long. The hards for the last 2 races have been the play.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like I said, I think there's a lot of room to grow here. Like, so I'm okay with this so far. Like, there's been nothing horrible. Some of them overtakes might be manufactured or whatever. I don't really care. It's kind of like NASCAR. I if it's good, I'll watch it. If it's not, I won't watch it. It's as simple as that.
All right, news time. The very first big news item, Lewis. Confirmed Bahrain and Saudi Arabia Grand Prix will not take place. I'm going to read this tweet verbatim from Formula One, all right? The Bahrain and Saudi Arabian Grand Prix will not take place in April. Due to the ongoing situation in the Middle East, the Grand Prix alongside F2, F3, and F1 Academy will not take place as scheduled. While alternatives were considered, no substitutions will be made in April. They are wording it in a very specific way, saying that they are not canceling these races. It feels like they're holding out, and they seem to think that they will still be able to fit these two races into the year at some point.
Yeah.
You get that vibe too.
Yeah, I do. And which is weird because I don't like these tracks. So I'll be okay with them gone, but I just don't like the lull that we're going to have.
Yeah, we're going to have 5 weeks without F1, the entire month of April. And I mean, I do like Bahrain, I'll be honest. But the fact that they're holding out hope for this, I don't think that, first of all, I don't think that it's going to be, the war is going to be wrapped up by then. Secondly, I don't know what their problem is with just straight up canceling them, because we're going from 24 races to 22 races, which is still more than enough.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Simple answer. Money.
No, I know there's a lot of sponsorships and money and stuff tied up into it. But like, just put your foot down. Like, I'm not confident these races are going to happen.
So here's another question. I just thought about, if this war still keeps going on until November, December, do we get a different final race?
Is it Brazil?
Don't tease me with that. That would be the best again. Let's bring back Brazil to be the final, please.
Brazil needs to be the last race of the season. It
It's
really
so
does.
good.
It
I
is.
love that track.
It is the perfect track to end the season on. Australia's the perfect opener, and Brazil's the perfect closer. It just is.
It really is. Like, all right.
I want to jump around a bit.
Oh, that's a mess on my playlist, but go ahead.
Williams are taunting their drivers.
Oh,
So
yes.
I know that the intent, okay, I'm just going to, outside of Williams headquarters, they have a big banner up by the entrance that says, "Let's keep building," and it showed Carlos at P9 and Albon DNS. I know that their intent was to use it as a motivation tool. Like, hey, yeah, we're there. Like, let's keep going. Like, we got this. But if you're Alex Albon and you walk in and you see a big freaking banner with your teammate in the top 10 and you DNS, that feels a little passive aggressive to me.
Yeah, it does. And like, I get the whole message, but like, it's like, oh, come on. Really?
The intent was definitely not to make Alex feel bad, but how can you not?
Yeah, at least
It's an insane thing to do.
Yeah, okay, to be fair, at least it's a DNS and not a DNF. I feel like if it was a DNF, it'd be a lot worse. DNS isn't entirely on him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's more on the team, but yes, it's still pretty bad.
All right, I'll go back in order. Sorry to mess up your playlist.
No, you're good. I got it fixed.
Haas
Yes.
has announced that they're unveiling a Godzilla-themed livery for the upcoming Japanese Grand Prix. Now, I watched the announcement video, and it's just the normal Haas driving around what looks like a volcano and Godzilla shadows, but they didn't tease anything about the livery from what I saw. It's just, like, it's cool. I don't fully get the crossover, but I like Godzilla, and I think it's awesome. There's a Godzilla movie coming out, but in November, so that confuses me too. I don't know if it's some anniversary of just the concept of Godzilla, which I guess makes sense. I hope that we get a ridiculous car similar to the Star Wars Red Bull from 2005. I don't know what to expect from this, but I'm here for it, I think.
This lost American points for me, not because like it's anything not American, but like you can't do a livery for July 4th. Like when you're racing in Silverstone and stuff like that, and like Monza, but let's do a Godzilla theme. I get it, sponsors and everything, but like, come on. Oh, you have the capabilities of doing special liveries.
Haas, I think at this point is kind of pivoting to be more of a Japanese team. I think we, in the not too distant future, are going to see Gene Haas back out and Toyota coming back in, which would be cool.
They don't have to change much of the colors.
That's true. You like fun innovations in cars in Formula One. Ferrari is doing something fun. Again, more fun than the Macarena wing. They are testing out a semi-transparent mini wing mounted at the base of the halo, and it diverts the air over the halo in a way to just increase the aerodynamics. And the prototype they've come up with is fully legal and within the regulations, and they're going to make it thinner and better for the rest of the season. This is one of my favorite innovations because it's so tiny and so subtle, but it has such a big impact, and it's kind of cool.
It seems like a very Newey-esque thing, which I love. But like, what's going on with Ferrari? Like, they're doing everything.
Dude, they are on one. I don't know what their design team is up to. This, to me, feels like the type of design, the type of innovation that other teams will for sure copy. Like, we will see this on the other cars. This is because it's too good to not put on the other cars. There's no downside to this that I can see.
Yeah, I mean, it won't cause more drag, I would think, but like, also, this just shows like them taking the WEC engineers. Good thing, because they did take stuff from the people from the World Endurance Championship to Formula One, which fun fact, Ferrari won Le Mans last year with.
Don't forget.
Yeah, they're pretty good in WEC, but yeah, this is awesome. Also, side note, what happened to the? I thought they were going to run the Macarena wing during the race.
Did they not?
I don't think so. I didn't see it. I was looking for it, but
they might have been having some issues with it during qualifying or testing. I don't know if they ended up not running it in the race because I wasn't watching the Ferrari wing on board. Oh. I tried to look for it, but it was hard to tell.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but like also the F1 broadcast didn't mention it, so like I assume it wasn't there. But yeah, I was really looking forward to it because I want to see Late Break Lewis.
Yeah, Late Break Lewis is awesome. We mentioned one record this weekend of Kimi being the second youngest driver to win. Did you know that we got another record this weekend?
I did not know this.
Esteban Ocon, via the race, is now the owner of the most races without a pole position. He beat out Romain Grosjean at 181 race starts without a pole, and now is at 182 race starts without a pole. Good job, Esteban.
Yeah. Good job. You have that record now. Two things for this. One, I always forget Ocon's driving for so long.
Yeah, it is one of those drivers you're like, yeah, he's only been around for a few years. Oh my god.
Yeah. Look it up. And then two, this is gonna be a weird stat. We're gonna have to look up like post race, and maybe I'll tweet about it if we find it. How many I want to know like the most ratio for race wins without a pole. Is he like, or whatever race, because he's a race winner but not a pole winner, so like there has to be a stat out there too to like find that, like narrow that down even more to like most race starts without a pole with a win. It's very niche, but like it'd be fun to like look that up, and maybe I'll do that later. But yeah, I forget that he's also a race winner, and he's been racing for so long, and he's just been one of those guys that's just there.
Mm-hmm.
And like, does anybody have anything bad to say about Ocon? Really?
I mean, I'm sure Pierre does.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
Hated each other.
It's that French people thing.
God, I remember when that was such a big talking point. Oh, two French drivers on the French team. What can go wrong? This is national pride. And then they just hated each other.
Yeah. What could go wrong? Except for everything.
Lewis, I'll let you take point on this next point. Max Verstappen will be racing this weekend, even though there's no F1 race. Lewis, take away.
So yes, Max Verstappen is going to be racing at the Nordschleife in the Mercedes-Benz.
German's a little too good.
Oh, sprichst du Deutsch? Nine? That's all I know in German. It's weird. But this is just weird for the thing. He's going to be racing the Verstappen.com Red Bull McLaren? Weird?
It's a Mercedes.
Mercedes, that's what I meant to say. Sorry. Also, like the number 33, which is also like it just feels like a fever dream, a Red Bull McLaren or Mercedes, sorry. And the number 33, it just feels weird, but like The Nordschleife is such a good track. It is beautiful. The Green Hell, I believe the nickname is for it. It's 14 kilometers long, I believe, off the top of my head. But yes, Max Verstappen will be racing there, and I might actually watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll enjoy finishing a race.
Is it because he's driving a Mercedes? That's why.
It's because he's driving a Mercedes.
And also, Max needs to be done with Formula One because I want to watch him in endurance racing so bad.
I mean, if that keeps going the way it is, and it might be very soon.
Yeah, I don't want him to leave Formula One, but I wanted to watch him in endurance racing so bad. I want to see him at Daytona. I want to see him at Le Mans, and like, there's always that rumor, and like, because Fernando wants to do Le Mans again, and just imagine the team of Fernando, Seb, Max. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Finally, to wrap up this news segment, Honda is throwing a Hail Mary and bringing improvements to their engine to Japan. But the thing is, this is kind of their last-ditch effort to fix whatever's happening with their engine all season. And if they can't figure it out here, then Aston, you just kind of got to write them off because, woof, that's how bad it is.
Yeah, I wonder what the regulations say about changing engine manufacturers mid-season. Like, can they just do that? Just like, we're done here. Like, I don't know who's at fault, really. Is it Honda? Is it Adrian Newey for radical design? It's so weird that it's very behind closed doors in a weird way.
I think it's a very specific combination of multiple things between both of them.
Yeah. And they really, like, this is supposed to be like their home race for Honda and welcome back to Formula One. And you know how upset everyone's going to be if Aston just starts in parks again, third race in a row.
Feels like it's going to be a reoccurring theme this season. I think they will try in Japan, but woof. Fernando Alonso and Honda just don't work.
It really doesn't. It's so bad. It's so cursed.
I wonder if there was a guy who worked at Honda who saw that Fernando was there and he's just got such a grudge against Fernando that he's like, you know what? Want to see something funny?
That is actually really funny. I just imagine one guy. It's like, we're finally done with Fernando. Thank gosh. And then, Fernando's back. I'm going to make his life living. Yeah.
Incredible.
Insane.
All right. Do you have anything else you'd like to touch on before we say goodbye for the week?
For F1 put out a fun video this week. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. They go inside every team's motorhome.
Oh, I didn't see
that. The team home type thing that they have. Fun fact, this is weird. Aston Martin's like little paddock garage thingy. Motorhome. I don't really know what to call it because it's like a 3-story building that they assemble.
Yeah.
Has build your own Aston there. A full on big, like, I don't know, like 50-inch touch screen. And then they have little cars, like little minifigs of all the paints you can get. You can touch the different leather, the different stitching. They have this all in there. And it is the most Lawrence Stroll thing I can think of.
Do they all come with a tiny little electric motor that you can install and then turn it on and then it just shakes so much?
I mean, maybe. You never know. But yeah. No, because they actually have Aston engines. They don't have Honda engines. Yeah. Just wait until that VTEC kicks in and you're going to vibrate even more. But yeah, that was like, I was looking through it and it was really weird. Like, I get it. They're a car company, but it's so weird. And then also it was the video taken from last year. Bottas does the Mercedes one, and it is Bottas. I love him.
Bottas was a great social media guy between stints of racing. He's a really funny guy. I love Bottas. He's just he's a joy. I think he's kind of taken over that Seb role, I guess, of just being kind of goofy.
I would say the Danny Rick role.
That's better. That's a better comparison. You're right.
Yeah, where he's just there to have fun. Like, he races, yeah, but he's just having fun, and he's a good racer. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's just he's such a vibe. Like, I would love to have a cup of coffee with him.
I would too. I don't even drink coffee. I would go through a cup of coffee just to talk with him.
Yeah, and he has his own coffee and everything. He's a coffee connoisseur. Like I love that man. But yeah, that's one thing I thought of. Like it was a great video, worth watch. It's like an hour-long video.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they go
I
through.
do like that kind of like behind the scene deep dive kind of stuff.
Yeah, and like Colapinto and Pierre go through the Alpine garage or thing. It's 3 stories. It is beautiful. They show all the Alpine cars. It is. Also, Bottas shows the Toto Wolff's office. Toto has a great chair, and then like they're like, "Oh, should you be touching that?" And Bottas is like, I'll do it." And like he just does it, and I love him. But yeah, it was a great video, and worth recommend watching it.
Awesome. Well, that's been Formula Friday. Join us next week when we preview Japan, and then I don't know. We'll have to figure out something to do for the entire month of April.
Yeah. Spring break.
We'll think of something. I've been Nick. That's been Lewis. Until next time. Have a good week.